If I were to be starting a nail business right now, today in 2025, what would I need to successfully launch my nail business? Welcome to part 2 of my entrepreneur series. And today we're talking about everything you need to get started with your nail business. And I'm not talking about supplies and equipment, because yes, that's important, but that's something that we're going to talk about. There's other things that we need to start to have a foundation in order to build a successful nail business. And that is what we are talking about today. So let's get into it right now. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you are new here, what's up? Do not forget to hit that like and the subscribe button, and do not forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I post new videos every single week. My name is Keisha and I'm a licensed nail technician for more than 25 years. I am a teacher for more than 5-6 years of nail technology program at a beauty school. I am a YouTuber, I'm a content creator, and more importantly, I am an entrepreneur of my own nail business. And if you are a old nail tech, a new nail tech, nail enthusiast, or you just like watching this type of content, then this is going to be the channel for you. So definitely make sure you subscribe and you're hitting that notification bell. If you missed part 1 of this series where I'm talking about is entrepreneurship for you, then I will leave a link below and you can go check that out. But today we are talking about how to start a nail business in 2025. What are some of the things that you're going to be needing? First things first, we need to decide our business model. How are you going to start this business? How do you want to run your business? Are you going to be an at-home nail tech? Do you have a designated space in your home where you can say, this is going to be my nail area? Or are you looking to rent a suite and have like a little mini business somewhere else? Both of those decisions are going to have pros and cons, but again, it's going to depend on your budget, your long-term goals, and your lifestyle. So let's take a look at both sides, from at home to versus renting, pros and cons, and let's see which one may be more suitable for you. Okay, so first we have an at-home business. What are some of the pros when it comes to being at home? So one, we have lower overhead costs. Obviously, I'm at home. I don't have any rent to pay anyone, and it just involved me finding a space in my home where I can kind of conduct business. Another thing is going to be flexibility. Again, I'm at home. I can choose the hours. There's no real commute. So if I say I'm going to work 12 to 6, I know I just got to be in this area or ready for my client at that time for services. Another huge pro is going to be it is an easy startup with a very low to no cost investment. Outside of maybe getting some supplies of what you already don't have, equipment, you might already have some stuff. And again, finding that designated space inside your home, you're good to go. So what are some of the cons? So zoning and any type of restrictions that you might have. Not every state, not every borough, not every place, not every building is going to allow you to freely conduct your business at home. Again, especially with nails. I mean, let's say other beauty professionals, hairstylists, definitely lash techs can get away with, they don't have that smell. We're working with monomer. There's ways to disguise it. But again, this is going to depend on, are you able to have an at-home business in your state? Is there anything you're going to need to file, or licenses that you're going to need, zoning requirements? How are your neighbors? Even if you just say, I'm going to handle all of that and that checks off, your neighbors just might always complain. They might complain to your super. They might complain to management. They might have something to say to you personally. So you have to just really consider that. Are you close to the door, the front door, where you have neighbors that are going to be smelling monomer and other chemicals and stuff? So these are things that you want to think about when you are going to be working from home. And another big con is that blur between home life and work life. When you are working from home, it is very hard to say, I'm going to have this schedule. Whereas people that have a job and they go out, or just getting up and going out to work, when I get to work, I'm working. When I leave work, I'm done. When you are home, it's very much that blurred line again. So we have to make sure that If you are somebody that can be disciplined enough to know, okay, when I got to do a personal stuff, I'm going to do a personal stuff. When I'm going to do a work, I'm going to do a work, and I'm not going to cross the two, and just trying to remain professional throughout that whole time. Now, when it comes to renting a suite, what are some of the pros in that? So renting a suite, obviously you're going to have a more professional environment. This is going to be my workspace. This is going to be my place where I'm going to conduct my business. I can decorate it however I want to. People can actually feel like they're stepping into a little mini nail salon that is your business, your little baby that you can conduct and do your services. Another benefit is you don't have any distractions. It's me, my customer. Maybe, I don't know how you rent your suite or renting a table or whatever the case may be. You know, you might have coworkers or whatever, but again, everybody is there working. We are in work mode. It's not like I have a cat running around. There's a dog barking. I got a baby screaming in the background. My neighbors is banging and arguing next door. It's not very professional. So again, we don't have any of those distractions when we are outside of the home. And another huge benefit of getting outside and renting a suite is you have the possibility to grow your clientele. If I'm in a building that's renting out to other suites and they have hairstylists in the building, they have lash techs in the building, they're gonna say, oh, you got a girl out here that does nails? Okay. I might pull some customers from that hairstylist, pull some customers from that lash tech, and now I'm growing my clientele. People think sometimes being in a suite, because I'm not in a storefront, no one's gonna see me, no one's gonna know I'm there. I'm gonna have to rely on word of mouth or social media, but not always. We can network with other people that are renting and pull in their clients, and then vice versa, we're networking. I'm gonna give you my clients that want hair, that want lashes, you give me the ones that want nails, and you have that opportunity to network with your other renters in the building. So what are the cons? Huge con is that monthly overhead cost of rent. Every place is going to cost different. I mean, I'm not outside these days, so I don't know what the going rate for renting a suite is. Last I heard, it could be about $175 to $200 a week. And if you don't have that clientele or you're not pulling it, that could be a large overhead. Remember, you're also responsible for your supplies, your equipment, other things, marketing, this, that, on top of life stuff. So just factor that in to renting or looking around when you're shopping around for a suite. What is it costing me? Track, what am I making now? Then if I had to say I'm going to be paying rent, can you make that? Look at your slowest weeks and months and decide, okay, can I make rent? Because again, we're gonna have those up and down moments, months, weeks, days. So we wanna make sure that we're always able to cover rent. Because again, the landlord doesn't care about what's going on in your life. They want their money. So we wanna make sure that we're able to have rent, because rent is no joke and it can be quite pricey. And another con is, again, because we have that overhead of rent and supplies and equipment and all those other things, we have to make sure that we are consistent. We have to make sure that we are professional. We have to make sure that we stay consistent with our clientele. I have to make rent. I have to pay my bills. This is my livelihood. I have to make sure of these things. So we want to make sure that you having that steady clientele is going to be crucial when it comes to renting a suite. So the second thing is going to be getting licensed and legal. So, you know, none of the paperwork part is going to be fun, but I just have to be honest. If you want to make money legally and long term, you have to make sure that you're doing the proper paperwork and doing the due diligence to make sure that your business is getting started correct way. So let's go over some of the things that you're going to do to be legal and licensed. So the first thing you want to do is get your business license. So you're going to, again, have to check your city or state requirements and see what is asked of you when needing to register a business. Like I talk about this in previous videos. And again, I am in New York State. New York State runs one way. Every state is different, but it's not hard to find information on literally Googling how to start a business. What paperwork do I need? I think a lot of times people get confused with but I'm at home. Do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? We're talking the bare minimals. We want to just like start our business, file the proper paperwork, and then you can look into like the zoning restrictions and the specifications when it comes to working from home or owning a home business in your city or state. One thing that I do want to point out also is when you are doing your business license, you need to have some type of insurance. So again, getting insurance for your business, that's going to be, again, I know for New York State, it is a requirement. So you just want to make sure that you're pricing certain insurance companies when it comes to different types of policies and how much it's going to cost you. Another thing you're going to need is your nail tech license. I know so many of you out there are unlicensed. So many of you, I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm talking to you. I have students that I know that are not licensed yet. And the thing is you go to school, get the requirements, take the exam. Guys, it's so not worth it to be caught working with no license. It is not worth it, especially if this is something that you want to do. You have to go to school to get your license, take your exams. I'm gonna just say go to school. That's one part of it. Taking your practical and your written exams for your state is going to be crucial if you want to have any type of long-term success in this industry. So another thing a lot of people ask me is, how should I register my business? What type of business structure should I have? Should I have an LLC? Do I do a sole proprietorship? What do I do? I cannot answer that question for you. I try to answer questions and comments as much as I can, but it's really not a question that somebody can tell you what to do. They can advise you. I can give you my opinion, my suggestion, my recommendation, but I cannot tell you what is going to be best for you and your needs. You have to look up different types of business structures and figure out which one is going to be best for you and your business, especially a long-term. Sole proprietorship is something that I am going to register my business as. I'm going to take full legal liability for my business, meaning if somebody attacks my business, they can attack me and my finances personally. Now, I'm not saying don't do this, but I'll leave it at that. Why would I want to be attacked? My own personal finances, what I have saved because something happened with my business. I'll leave it at that. An LLC is a limited liability corporation. So again, that's going to separate me from my business. So if somebody tries to sue me, my personal finances won't be touched. I will not be affected by that. It is directly towards the business. Again, I'm going to leave it at that. Then we have other ones. We have S corporation, which actually falls underneath another tax bracket. Again, an accountant person could probably help you out with that a little bit better. And then you have a regular corporation, which I do see some people file as a corporation. There are benefits for a corporation. You would have to look into that. I know they have like Zoom, legal Zoom that can maybe help you with stuff. Again, if you are really, I think most people, you can figure this out, but again, it's not for everybody, but definitely seek some type of, don't just do LLC because I say that, or you see a lot of people do that. A corporation might actually be better for you. Everybody's personal financial situation and the different type of business you're going to own, it could put you in a different business structure that might benefit you more. So do your due diligence again when it comes to choosing the best business structure. Another thing you want to make sure you have set up is a business banking account. So in order to start a business banking account, honestly, once you register your business, they're going to ask you to upload some type of proof, EIN, that you are a registered business. And that's it. They usually want when you do the LLC, the business structure, they usually want that. And then when you do your tax information, the EIN. The business license, I don't really think most banks ask for that. Again, don't quote me on that. I'm not a banker. But I have done a previous video about that as well when it comes to your banking and your finances when it comes to business. And again, this is something, even I'll be 100% honest with you, it's still something that I'm trying to improve on. Every single year, I'm trying to do better and better at just really keeping the two separated. This past year, 2024, was probably the best year that I really said, like, all business stuff comes from one account, all personal stuff is here, this is that, this is that. Like, I'm really getting better with that, but that's something that even if you're not at the point where you can do that or you're confused about that, just start with doing an account. Start by saying, okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of money, put it back into the business, take a little bit, pay myself. You know, you might not be able to put in some weeks as much as you need for your own personal life, but baby steps. At least get that account set up. If you can't have all the expenses come out of one place, You can do a business credit card. If you have good credit, you want to start a business credit card, which is even better because now your business is building credit, and then you can charge all your expenses to that. So when it comes time to taxes, you are just looking at your bank statements from your banking account and your credit card, and then you can just file that way. It's just easier, it's cleaner, it's neater, it's more organized. But again, if that's not something that you are prepared for, just try to make any type of progress towards that. And remember, even if you're just starting out, setting up your business correctly is going to save you so much headache down the road. Trust me. Sorry to interrupt this video, but I just want to mention to you that I have started monthly memberships. So within these memberships, there are 3 different tiers that you'll be able to join for a teeny tiny monthly fee. But this is going to give you access to weekly videos, early exclusive weekly vlogs that I'm now doing. So if you want to dabble into a little bit of my life and what's going on with me, behind the scenes stuff, that is all going to be included in weekly vlogs that I will be uploading on here. And also I will be doing live streaming where I'm going to be doing tutorials, classes, educational content, and all that stuff live once a month. So you don't want to miss out on this exclusive content and this information. So if you're interested, just hit the join tab. I'll leave a link in the description below, and you can sign up for the monthly memberships, any tier that works for you. But again, obviously different tiers are going to provide different things. So now let's get back to the video. So up next, we have branding. Branding and your business's identity. What makes you a brand? What makes you stand out? And no, branding isn't just about having like some little cutesy logo. It's about how people feel when they think of your business. What is the vibe people get when they see your images, your logo, and your branding content? So let's take a good moment to talk about some of the things that you're going to need when it comes to branding and your identity, because once you start your business, it's really hard to go back and have to change everything down the road. So the first thing obviously is going to be your business name. We need to obviously decide that before we even start anything, because you're gonna have to register your business. So you gotta come up with a name, but we're gonna make it unique, make it memorable. Nowadays, it's really hard to come up with a name that sticks out because we have nails galore. We have nails by Keisha, Keisha nails, Keisha nailed it, nails this, nails that, so-and-so nailed it, claws, paws, I've heard it all. So what makes you stand out? If anything, again, we don't have to be so, it's hard to be unique when it comes to this. We can just try to make it fit, again, our vibe and our mood when it comes to business. Another tip that I would have actually is going on to social media and typing in whatever name you're thinking of. Just kind of, one, you're gonna have to do this for your business structure. You cannot legally register a business and somebody else is having that name. But we want to just go on TikTok search, go on Instagram in the search, type, nails by Keisha, see how many people will come up. What are they calling themselves? Because again, you don't want to say to someone, my Instagram is Keisha Nails, and then 185 people show up. So they have no idea which one is you. You want to be able to stick out in that way. The name itself doesn't have to be crazy unique, but we want to make sure that we don't have too many people with the same exact name. We don't want to make it overly complicated where it's like, okay, my name is Keisha Nails on Instagram, but there's 5 S's. Nobody's doing all that. So think about stuff like that. So just do a little quick search at Instagram and TikTok, get some ideas, get a vibe about different types of names, different compilations that you can do, and see how many other people are out there with that same name. We want to think about, again, our logos and our colors. So we have a logo. What is your logo gonna be? So if we think about Keisha Nails, what do I wanna do? Do I want a hand? Do I want a picture of me? When I was trying to come up with a new logo, I think my first logo was a hand, and it was like this, and it had like little designs on it. I used Vistaprint to help me create it. That is a good option if you're looking for a logo and somebody to help you create it. I think it was like $100 at the time, and I was allowed 3 versions of it. So I explained to them in depth what I wanted. I sent them my inspiration picture and they came up with something. I was like, could you do this? You're allowed like 3 little tweaks before you kind of have to decide on one of them. That was fine. And then I wanted to, as my business grew, I started the channel. I wanted to really kind of change that, these little cartoon characters. If you see my logo, that's kind of like the logo that I'm running with now, but I like that. In one hand, I'm holding a textbook, in one hand, I'm holding nail polish, because that is what I am. I'm a teacher, but I'm still a technician. I'm on top of the nail desk. I thought she was cutesy. Maybe down the line, I'm going to change that logo, but your logo is something that it can grow and develop. But to start, we want to think of something that's going to reflect your vibe and your style. I should look at your logo and say, like, it's crazy, like that's her vibe. Well, it's simple, it's elegant, it's classy. It should reflect your work. Another thing is going to be your social media handles. Again, using Instagram and TikTok to search other nail techs. We want to make sure that we are searchable. We're not going to get lost in the mist when it comes to trying to come up with a name and a social media handle. Because, for example, I'll give you a good example. If I come up with a business name and then I find 185 people that have that on Instagram and like 200 on TikTok that have the same name as me. So now I'll be Keisha Nails, but then my website is gonna have to be Nails by Keisha. But then my handle for social media is gonna be Keisha Does Nails or Keisha Nailed It. Too messy. It needs to all match across the board. It has to be the same across the board. So while the name might be cute, the social media handle, it might not work out for you, or the business name might not work out for you, but you like this for social media, it's good. You have to find a good medium, because again, people aren't gonna remember. We need to make it easy. It should be Keisha Nails across the board for everything. Nail Teach, this, I use Nail Teach for here, but Keisha Nails, that's where I run for mostly everything nail related. Anything educational wise, I always say Nail Teach. That's it. And that was only more new. My website, KeishaNails.com, that was what it was when I had the website. We have to make it kind of make sense across the board. So think about that again when choosing a name and choosing your social media handles. Another cutesy thing that you could do, which would help your business, obviously, is some type of tag or like a slogan. In class, I have my girls come up with a mission statement. So a mission statement is something that you are kind of creating for, you can do it for life, you can do it for your business. Every business has some type of mission statement. If you look at McDonald's, they have a mission statement, or they have a little tagline. You'll see it sometimes underneath the logo. Nike, just do it. That's their mission statement. Just do it. That's their little, but actually that's not their mission statement. That's their tagline. But something along those lines. What could be your little tagline, if you want to say, or if you want to come up with a mission statement or something that is going to be plastered on your website, on your social media page. My goal is to make people feel beautiful all the time. In doing this, you just want to think about, if I make this mission statement today, if I grow my business to having 5 salons across the borough, I want to be able to come back to this statement and it's still true. So if I say my mission statement is going to be to beautify others and make sure that everybody always has an exceptional customer service experience, that's something that I can stay true to. As a business, I can stay true to that statement no matter how big or small I will be. So we want to think about that. If you want to do a tagline, when I was coming up with the press-on company, I did Press Your Mood, temporary styles for temporary vibes. Temporary vibes for temporary, I forgot. Okay, I forgot, but it's one. That's the slogan for the press-on business. So again, you get my point. But that, again, that's not something that you have to do, but it is cute if you want to just kind of add that little something to it. And if you are struggling with this, again, just think about the vibe. Think about the work. Everybody has a style that they like, a vibe. Your nail style, I feel like your nail style usually kind of matches your personality, or if you look at like how somebody dresses. Usually minimalist people like minimalist nails. They like, their home is minimal, their style, and that's the nails that they create. Crazy nails, and they kind of like poppy colors and this and that. It kind of flows with that. So think about the styles and the designs that you are attracted to, that you like to recreate, that you've been saving, that you've been doing. Think about your customers so far, the type of customers you want to pull in. You can't be minimalist and say, I want to pull in ratchet girls. That's not going to work. They're not going to like your style because you're not their type. So you want to think about that if you are just a little bit confused when it comes to a name. Again, going on TikTok and Instagram, getting some inspiration from names and how people looking at other texts, their logos, and getting a vibe. We don't want to copy anybody, but you can pull definitely some inspiration from others online. Okay, let's talk some money now. How do we price and create some type of service structure? This is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of new nail techs make, again, when starting off to be independent, whether you're from home or you're renting a suite. We want to make sure that we have our prices and our service structure down. So here's what you need to do before you start taking clients. First, we need to come up with a service menu. What services are you offering? Basic manicures, gel, acrylic, nail art, different types. What have you been doing so far? What do you want to do if you haven't been doing anything? What do you already have in stock? Because again, doing certain things are gonna require a bigger startup cost. When I started offering hard gel, I had to invest in base gel and different types of gel and this and that. I had to get some supplies for that. Is that something that you're really doing? Again, if you are just starting out, you don't have to do everything. You can just do acrylic. If you are just doing Gel X and you don't really want to dabble into acrylic, get Gel X started. Gel X is speaking of that, that was a little startup as well. When I started offering that and doing press-ons, I had to really take a little bit and invest in certain things. So maybe sitting down, think about what are the supplies I'm gonna need for this type of service? This is how much it's gonna cost me. Okay, so I can start this. Or I just wanna start off with acrylic and I just wanna start off doing this, manicures, I don't wanna do pedicures yet, so on and so forth. So think about all the supplies you're gonna need for the service, how much it's gonna cost you to start up. And then we can kind of go off of that, building a service menu to start. Pricing strategy. So research competitors in your area. What are the shops costing people? What are other techs in your area charging? We want to research our competitors and charge accordingly, but we do not want to undercharge just to get clients. I am so sick and tired of people saying, well, I don't have my license, so I'm not gonna charge this month. I don't have a shop, so I'm not gonna charge this month. I only been doing nails for X a long time, so I'm only gonna charge this month. Who gives a crap? You are doing nails, you're providing a service for somebody, and they need to pay accordingly. Me in this industry for over 25 years, and you that may be watching that's been doing nails for 3 years, we're both doing the same full set using the same Valentino powder that costs us the same amount of money. What's the difference? Charge your worth. We don't want to get crazy, but we want to charge our worth. Do not undercharge, thinking no one's going to come to me because I charge so much, or because again, we have an issue of if you start too low, it's really hard to jump up a lot, especially in a short time frame. If you realize you've been charging $20 for a set and you really need to be charging $40, $45, that's a huge jump. And it's going to take you a long time to make those little baby jumps. So we want to start off at a reasonable price. I have a video on how to price your services or how to up your prices, and I'll leave a link in the description box below, and you can go check that out, where I get fully into depth on kind of breaking down what you need to be charging, and if you need to make that increase, how to go about that. Another thing we want to make sure we have some type of guidelines and policies. Are you going to be charging deposits as well? Cancellation stuff. We need to set all these rules out. I tell girls all the time, this is not a booking site thing. You know, when you have a booking site, the first thing you see on people's site is they have their policies. If you cancel, if you no-show, all of that is there. That's fine and dandy. Now, for you girls that are doing just straight DM appointments and people are contacting you, this should be highlighted on your Instagram page, your TikTok page, whatever. It should be pinned to the top. These are my policies. And not only are you pinning it to your Instagram page, after someone books and they send that deposit, I'm going to send you a snapshot of my policies. Because guess what? We have that little stamp on Instagram where it says seen 1 hour ago. So I don't care if you read it or not. It shows me that you saw it and I know I sent it to you. So when you don't show up and I charge you or you lost your deposit, I don't want to hear, well, I didn't know. I didn't check your Instagram. I didn't look at your highlights. I wasn't aware of this or that. You have to make sure you're covering your ass. This is, as a business, it should be in a confirmation email somewhere. Your policies should be listed and then it should be sent after booking. Every single client. I don't care if you've been coming to me for 5 years and you come once a week. You will get those policy notifications or something. I'm going to send you a text. I'm going to send you in some shape, way, or form. I'm going to remind you of my policies because everybody magically forgets that they were not supposed to be charged a no-show fee or a late fee. All the information magically disappears and they had no idea that this was what your policy was. So I'm gonna let you remember by making sure I send that out to you. So we wanna make sure that we have all of that thought about. So again, there are things that are gonna come up. I've had to change my policies. I've had to add stuff. As stuff happens, you might want to tweak that. That's fine. But think about, again, the foundations of what we're going to be doing. And again, no show, cancellation, late deposits. How much is that? Does it go towards the service, which it should? How much is the deposit going to be? Is the balance going to be paid in cash? Do you take card? The basic information that we should be having, again, set in stone before we start taking clients. And again, we want to remember that your time and your skills are valuable. So do not price yourself too low. Do not think of yourself as, I'm just new, I'm just a beginner. You know, we want to set our worth from the beginning and let people know, I know we've been friends for 10 years, but this is business and this is how I run my business. This is how I'm going to conduct my business. And then people will treat you as such. If you treat yourself like an unworthy joke respectfully, then that's how people are going to treat you. Like they're not going to respect you and they're going to treat your business like a joke because that's how you are coming off. So you want to come off serious, stern, professional, and worthy. You can be the best nail tech in the world, but if no one knows you exist, then you won't make any money. So let's talk about some ways that we can start attracting clients and start making some money as a business. So the first thing is going to be obviously social media. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, whatever, post it. Once you create that social media handle and you have all your accounts set up, which, spoiler, we're going to be talking about that. I'm going to talk to you about how to set up your Instagram. I didn't think that was a thing that I needed to talk on, but that's going to be a part of the series. So just sit tight and wait for that part where we talk about how to create that the right way. But once we are on Instagram, we need to post consistently. When I say consistently in the beginning, you need to be on it to build it. Show the algorithm, I am here. Push me out to people that want to see my content. I'm posting minimum twice a day, at least for the first several months. You have to be consistent or else no one is going to find you. No one is going to see your work. No one is going to know you exist. And all this hard work and money that you invested into a business is going to be wasted. So why are we going to waste our time? We're not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post consistently to attract new clients to grow my business. Another thing to help market and help clients find you is a booking system. I would like to highly recommend StyleSeat. Now, StyleSeat, they're kind of out of the loop right now, but what I love about StyleSeat, and I used StyleSeat for the first year-ish, maybe 2. I know it's definitely minimum a year, but StyleSeat, unbeknownst to people, and I don't know about other websites and what they do. I know Acuity, which I use now, they don't do this. I'm not sure about Booksy and all this other stuff, but StyleSeat, what they actually do is they push you out and promote for you, which is an excellent tool. I've actually gained clients from StyleSeat. So they have this thing where if they push you out to somebody, they actually collect a little bit more because they helped you gain that client. But in a sense, if I have a long-term client, so one girl that I do found me on there, she's been coming to me for 3 years. So I've been gained that money over 3 times and more. So it's not even worth like, okay, well, I had to give them a small little commission from her first appointment because she found me through them. But she just, so I always say, how did you find me? She was like, oh, I was on Style Scene and I just typed like, who is in my area that does nails, and you came up and I was like, oh, she lives right here, da 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 da. That's happened several times. So I do think if you are in the beginning and you are looking for a booking site, StyleSeat is really good. I really loved it for beginners, to helping you helps promote, because again, if you make money, they make money. So they're gonna help you push out to get new clients. So you want to definitely like look into that. Another thing is going to be like a website. Do you want to have a website? A lot of people don't feel they need to have a website. I'm on the fence about that. I had a website, I took it down because I felt like, why? I wanted some place where I can kind of bring in all my branches into one place. And then I felt like, this is dumb. So I took it away and I don't have a website anymore. But if you are somebody that feels like, I want to have a website, because for many years I felt that you weren't a real business unless you had a website. And trust anybody or any business that didn't have a website. I feel a little bit differently now because I know that's not a thing. Social media, you know, it's more in the forefront than having an actual website. That is something that can come. But if it was between the two, I would definitely say go booking site over website. But whatever you decide to do, make sure that everything is always linked to your social media. So on my social media, you can find for YouTube, you can find booking site, you can find Amazon, you can find this. It's a one-stop shop. So we want to make sure that everything is linked to your social media. Another great way to market is going to be word of mouth. That's the best way. That is the #1 way that you will find new clients. It's simple, back to basics, word of mouth. Business cards. Create business cards, give them to your clients. Give them a couple so that when somebody asks them or says, I like your nails, they have a spare to give. Word of mouth. Friends will tell friends, will tell parents, will tell cousins, will tell this. You could do a whole family. You could do a whole group of friends. I have several clients like that where I do the whole gang, or I do mom and daughter combos a lot. You know, it's just a thing. So word of mouth is going to be the best thing for you. If you also want to offer some type of referrals, I usually give some type of thanks at the end of the year to my clients for any type of referrals that they brought me throughout the year. Or you can do some type of loyalty program if they're coming X amount of times, and that might be appealing to a family member, and say, oh, well, you know, if you go this, or if you go and you mention my name, we both get 5% off. That's a good deal. You should use that. That's a different type of discount. You know, anything like that where people are out there doing the marketing for you. There's nothing better and easier than that. Another great way is going to be local marketing. So I don't know if you've ever seen that thing on TikTok where there was like a girl putting her business card in like random things in the supermarket, or sliding them in aisles in Target or Walgreens or something. That is it's so simple, but it's genius. I have had a student that I actually saw, she took her menu and she was putting it on the cars in her block. Genius. Simple. People are gonna be like, oh, what's this? Okay. And then they'll glance at it. Maybe somebody will throw it in their car. Maybe, you know, some will get wasted. But some, you know, even if I gain 2 people from just walking and placing my card on 5 cards, I got something. It wasn't a total wash. So locally, we can market ourselves. We can network. Maybe you have a store, you have a bodega. I feel like everybody has a bodega or a local store, and they're cool with the guys that work there. Can I leave some cards right here? Can I make postcards and just leave a couple right here if you don't mind? You know, most of the time they don't care. They understand that and they know what you're trying to do, especially as a woman. Oh, can I use my card right here? Thank you. You know, play that game, play the girl card. They will hook you up and they'll let you leave it. So we want to make sure we are pulling people. And again, if I'm working from home, I'm going to advertise in that area. If I'm renting a suite, I'm going to advertise in that area. I don't want to advertise too far out because they're not going to travel to the other place and you're promoting in the wrong place. So you want to make sure we're keeping in a certain radius of where you're going to be working. But In 2025, guys, social media is still going to be the best way to grow your nail business. So start posting, even if you're not perfect at it, just post something. Post something. Do not let your mind kind of get you to the point where it's not perfect, but I need to do this, but it doesn't look like this, but the lighting's bad. Who cares? You'll get better. You will grow, but you have to do it in order to know what gets better. Show your progress, show your personality, and people will be interested and people will find you. And finally, we want to set up a relaxing, professional customer experience. So what are some of the things we can include to create a nice professional environment for our clients? So one of them we've already talked about. We want to make things so much easier for our clients and have that professional appearance by having an online booking system or some type of DM. You know, you can set it up to be auto reply so you sound professional. They're getting the information they need. You can set that up. We just want to be professional. We want to make it easy. I can't even tell you how many customers are lost because of unprofessionalism and customer service. If you are doing something by DM, immediately, and I said this to one of my students literally like 2 weeks ago, you have to set the time to respond to people. If you are working 9 to 5, that means from 5 to 6, I'm gonna sit and go through my DMs and get back to people. That doesn't mean, you know, I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna get back to it. You are a business, you have to treat yourself as such. You have to take time to get back to people. No one's expecting you to stop working to answer a DM or a text, but I need to set time aside early in the morning and then again when I finish my shift to get back to these DMs of everybody requesting an appointment, people trying to price check stuff. I have to get back to these people in a timely manner. You are losing customers this way, guarantee. So we want to make sure that we are creating this easy breezy experience for our customers. Again, you know, I always preach about an online booking site, and it does that. I don't have to answer questions. Literally, somebody asks me a question, I give them my booking site. If you need help, I'm here, but everything is there. Don't bother me with this nonsense. So make sure it makes my life easier. It makes it easier for them. Everything's laid out. So just creating that experience for them is crucial. Your decor and your atmosphere. Again, thinking about your vibe. This goes back to your logo, your vibe of the name and the colors, and what is the atmosphere going to be like. When I wanted to recreate my nail room, if you were here from that journey, when I first did it and I came into this space, I said, I'm just going to start. And then I grew, and then I added this, and then I said, I want to do this, and I needed a chair, and I wanted to do pedicures, and I'm going to have products, and I'm going to put this here. It started to look like a cluttered mess because it wasn't a thought that I started from jump. So when I redid my nail room, I had the time to sit and think about, what do I want it to look like? What are the colors that I want? What is the vibe that I wanted? And I wanted something a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit more cohesive. I wanted it to kind of, I like the pink, but I wanted it to calm down a little bit with the pink. I wanted a little pop of color, some elegance, some class, I wanted a nice nail table where I had space and I can organize it. It looks so cluttered, because that's one thing that started to really drive me crazy. I just had to keep buying all these things to put shit everywhere, and I just didn't want that. So I had to sit and think about, what do I want it to look like? How am I going to move in this? And also based off of the services that you're offering, okay, if I'm doing pedicures, I need to have a decent space to do pedicures. And if I grow or want to do pedicures later on, do I have the space for that? How do I organize if I want to have snacks? Where's the snack tray going to go? Is it going to be in the way of this? And my polishes, and how am I going to organize that? Just the whole atmosphere and vibe. We don't want to have our clients walk into a chaotic, cluttered mess. We want to have them walk in and have an experience. So just think about how your clients are going to be greeted. The room, what are they going to smell? What are they going to see? This is going to be creating your vibe. So whatever that vibe may be. And lastly, professionalism. Professionalism is going to be the most important thing that you can do to create a good experience for your customers. So good communication, a clean workspace, and great customer service. Customer service is key. Do not forget that. Remember that you are the first, the only, and the last point of contact with your customers. We are the marketing team, we're the representative, we are the technician, we are the cleanup crew, we are everything. We do everything. You are one person. If you are so lucky to have a team, congratulations to you. But most of us, we do everything ourselves. So we want to make sure that we are giving them that experience. And again, it always starts with that first point of contact and good customer service. The goal is to always make every customer feel like they are special and they're having a moment with you as their technician so that they can come back to you continually and refer you to other people. This is how we grow as a business and as a nail tech. And that is how we start a nail business in 2025. If you found this video helpful, please like this video. Do not forget to subscribe and stay tuned for part 3, where I'm going to be breaking down all the supplies and the equipment that you're going to need to start your new nail business. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye.